Our next guest has struggled through a lot. Despite having severe depression and being exceptionally ugly, he has turned his life around and now has a successful career with the New York Giants. Please welcome Frank N. Stein. So, Frank, how are you today?
Well, Oprah, I'm great. I've really turned my life around. When I left Victor and Walton, I swore that I would kill myself. But once I was gone, I realized that I wasn't ready to die. Instead of turning back, I crossed Antarctica and ended up in Canada. I eventually went south to America and liked it here.
What did you do when you got here?
I lived in a forest for over 30 years and became a new person. I started my own supply shack for those headed west on the Santa Fe Trail. I was finally accepted by humans because they needed the things that only I had.
Wow, how did it feel the first time a human interacted with you in a civil way?
At first, it was shocking, and I didn't know what to do or how to respond to them. But after a while, I learned how to interact with them. A few years after the West had been settled, I packed up my supplies and moved east, because that was where the best doctors were.
How did they help you?
They put me on antidepressants, and I found a plastic surgeon that fixed my scars so I wasn't ugly anymore. I was finally on my way to fitting in.
How did changing your looks change your life?
I moved to New York and I finally managed to get a real job while attending a nearby school. I even made some friends and joined the football team. The people respected me and I was beginning to get the hang of things when recruiters began to bother me about football. Eventually, I chose to join the New York Giants.
That's amazing. Sources tell me you have a girlfriend now. Is that true?
Yes, it's true. We actually met on the football field. She was cheering while I was playing. We are truly in love.
Are you thinking about dropping the question on her soon?
I've given that some thought.
To thank you for sharing your inspirational story with us, we have arranged for her ring to be fully paid for. That is one lucky lady.
Thank you so much.
One last question. Would you support scientists if they tried to create a person like you?
Definitely not. I'm happy, but for almost 200 years I was miserable and committed many gruesome murders and other crimes. It was a time of my life that I want to forget, and I would never want anyone else to go through that.
Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Frankenstein, everybody!